Hey everybody, it's me, John Anthony Chihawk Soltero. I am the anti-hero, and I'm bringing to you another edition of my non-con haul. So for those of you who maybe haven't tuned into my channel previously, or maybe this is the first or second video and you haven't seen the different, more recent videos that I've done, I decided to start calling what I was doing online and then the show that I do on Saturdays through my Facebook, NonCon. Because due to everything that's going on, self-quarantining, the self-isolating, the non-essential business shutdowns, we're not having any conventions, but there are a lot of bright spots in the community, a lot of great content being put out on YouTube and other video platforms. There's a lot of great services still available. I mean, we're not getting brand new comics, but you are able to buy like back issues and exclusives and really cool toys and cards and things like that from different vendors. One of the ones I utilize most of all is CBSN, the Comic Book Shopping Network. It's on Facebook. If you look them up, you have to ask to join. You have to answer a few questions. You'll get approved. There are tons of shows on there. There are individuals who are selling single issues of comics, reader sets, some graded books. Some people are selling action figures. They're selling trading cards. In fact, some of the stuff that I'm going to show you, I've actually gotten through the show and through comic shops and eBay and stuff like that this week. On the collector's territory, Old Pueblo Comics makes these available, and he's still got them. These are the Two-Face coins, the two-headed Two-Face coin. I got this a while back from Tony Corona, one of the two-person team from the collector's territory, the other being Eric Freichin of Presidio Comics. Tony is with Old Pueblo. So let me just get into it. This past week was phenomenal for me. With the show that I've been running, I get paid via PayPal by individuals. I've not only been able to chop my credit card debt more than in half, probably in 2/3, but I have also been able to have like a ton of fun money, trying to support small creators, independent businesses, local businesses, independent artists. That's a huge thing for me since I do an independent comic or several independent comics. I decided it was time. You know, you gotta walk the walk. If you're gonna talk the talk and tell people to support you, then in turn I have to be that advocate and that voice and be like, you know what? If I've got some extra money, I'm gonna help support independent creators. So let's get into it, shall we? So last weekend, when I purchased stuff from the collector's territory, I just got it yesterday, because that's the way like me and Tony and everybody meet up. We meet up once a week, and he gets packages out to people and stuff like that. We wear our masks, we social distance, you know, hand sanitizer and everything. So we're being very, very careful about it, and it's not just for us. It's a perfect quote. If you remember Dark Knight Rises, even though it wasn't the greatest movie in the world, when he's talking to Officer or Detective John Blake, and he's telling him that he's going to be the one to replace him, and tells him to get a mask, and Blake says, "I'm not afraid." Batman looks at him and says, "The mask isn't for you. It's for the people you love." I just remember that quote this week, and it really resonated home with me, because at first, I'll be honest, it's not that I didn't think this was serious. I just didn't think, you know, I didn't need the mask. The mask wasn't necessary. I can keep 6 feet away from people. Well, the truth is even if I can keep 6 feet away from people, that's not going to stop somebody from getting in my bubble, which happens a ton. Honestly, if I have to go grocery shopping, if I have to go to the store, if I'm at the gas station or have to go to Circle K or something like that, somebody's always standing within 6 feet of me. So I always have a mask ready to go. I have a bottle of hand sanitizer in my car. So it's been pretty wild. but it's also been good because it's been a learning experience, because this isn't about me. Relatively speaking, I am healthy, and it's very possible that I could be asymptomatic. That's kind of beside the point. The point is that somebody who wants to extol the virtues of being a hero has to be able to practice that as well. So I wear the mask and I do my best to social distance. It can be difficult at times. I'm a pretty self-isolating person anyways. I don't go out and do a whole lot of stuff, but this makes it harder because, you know, now you can. Before I just didn't want to. But that's where NonCon comes in, right? Like, we can interact online and you guys can see what I've got, I can see what you've got. We can talk to each other, we can comment, we can message. By the way, I appreciate Just a Rican in his comics. Rod, thank you so much for spreading the word about my channel. It means a lot. I've gotten a couple of extra subscribers. And meanwhile, thank you to my new subscribers. That means a lot to me as well. Hope the content is stuff that you guys continue to appreciate and enjoy. We're doing updates about the Bubba Patrol, showing comic books that I pick up. I'm trying to figure out how to get my screen capture program to show me doing digital artwork so that I can upload it. But I'm also planning on doing some analog traditional art that I'll upload on here as well as onto my Patreon. So please continue checking that out. Like and share and subscribe. That means a lot to me as well. I'm not here to monetize. That's not my main motivation. Sure, it would be great, but I don't. That's not something that was ever my goal. This was just something that started out of me. With everything that goes on with me, if you haven't seen this before, I am bipolar. I have bipolar 2. I also have obsessive compulsive disorder. I do suffer from depression, anxiety, things like that. I'm also not always the most social individual on the planet. Sometimes I can get pretty curmudgeon-y and stuff. This helps me kind of focus a little bit. It gives me one more thing to do. It's another creative outlet. And it allows me to communicate without screwing things up too badly. I have a tendency to overspeak, as I'm doing right now, because we're 7 minutes in and I haven't gotten to any of the things yet. But me doing these videos and me showing you guys the things that I have and asking questions and stuff really gives me a way to just be myself and express my love and passion for comic books and pop culture. I hate the term pop culture. Comic books and action figures and toys and my own creativity, one of which you will see at the very tail end. That's the last, biggest, hugest thing that I got this week. All right, so from the Collector's Territory Haul last week, and then some of this stuff is some artwork that I got and pickups from comic book store, some toys and stuff like that. So let's get into it. So I got, where is it? I bought, Tony Corona on the Collector's Territory sells trading cards as well. And so he was selling, I think these are Marvel Series 1 cards. I bought 5 packs. That's about 5.5 packs worth. And when Tony picked the packs up, he was like, oh, this one's going to have something in it because it's way heavier and it's way thicker. And there were like holograms and foil cards in that series. Turns out the pack that, when I picked it up, it was definitely thicker and bigger. Actually had 17 cards in it instead of 12. So there was something extra in it. It just wasn't anything super fancy. Speaking of trading cards, I have yet to open this yet. Cosmic Cards, DC Comics Cosmic Cards, got a whole box. And I picked up some Sin City cards from Tony this weekend as well. And then on the subject of cards, one of the things that I want to do with the Bubba Patrol is make my own trading cards, get them professionally printed and stuff. But then I started thinking, how are you going to wrap them up and get them, like, are you going to do it as just a set? Are you going to do it as, or are you going to do it as individual packs? Probably going to be like 20 to 24 cards in the set. So not a huge set. But Tony asked me if I wanted this last week. And it's a do-it-yourself create your own trading card set. It comes with 260 cards. I believe sketch cards. I'm not sure. I'll have to crack this open. 40 wrappers. And I'm wondering what that looks like. 10 4-card panels. I'm guessing that's like the little binders, the mini binders, and 1 sample pack. So I'll have to check that out and see what that is. But this is cool for a couple of bucks, just being able to see what came of it. Now, I've been doing quite a few sketch covers that I'll show in just a little bit. So I decided to pick up a Jughead blank cover. I also ended up picking up, was it last week or this week? I picked up a Batman Who Laughs. I picked up 2 Grim Knight books, and then I picked up a Vampirella cosplay cover. I don't want to go digging through all my stuff right now. Maybe I'll show that a little bit later. And because I've been doing more blank covers and stuff like that, I also picked this up, Rogue One #1 blank cover. I wasn't sure what I was going to do with it, but at the end of my show last night, one of my regular customers messaged me and said he saw that I had some blanks. He wanted to know if I had any Star Wars ones, and I was just like, I actually just picked that up. And he got a little bummed, and he was just like, oh, do you have plans for it already? And I was just like, I'm thinking of some ideas, but I don't have anything concrete. And he was just like, oh, well, I want to get a commission. And I was just like, all right. So that's actually already earmarked for a commission for that gentleman. He loves R5D4. And I actually just watched episode 4 right now because I love the scene when the motivator blows, and he was just like, I just need some more appreciation for R5D4. So he'll be getting that. I also got a Fantastic Four blank because, you know, you can never draw too much. I don't know. There's some good Fantastic Four characters to draw, you know, like Galactus. Thing is always fun. He's a little bit hard with the rockiness, but maybe that's something I'll give a try to. She-Hulk would be really, really good, especially I've been doing a lot of pinup type stuff, so a pinup She-Hulk would be kind of cool. Madman Adventures, this was from Hero magazine, Price Guide and Comic Book Collectors. It's the red foil version. It's an ash can. Big Madman fan myself. Damage Control #1. I believe this is the first appearance of Damage Control. I'm not sure. However, you know, they became big time after in Spider-Man Homecoming. Deathlock #1. Silver enhanced foil cover. Just a really cool, very 90s cover. Maximage 2 of 9. Dark Horse Presents 43. It does have an alien story in it, so that's pretty dope. And then, try to take all the price tags off of these first. The new Ghostbusters issue #2. I just love this animated style. I've never really read any of the Ghostbusters books before, but the style is really, really fun for me. So speaking of the fact that I've been doing some sketch covers, might as well just show you what I've been working on this week. A couple of these I had penciled or inked quite a while ago, and then just never got around to coloring them, wasn't satisfied with them. But with the new Ohuhu marker set that I have, I've been like just loving cranking stuff out. This was a Princess Leia #1 that I decided to do like a curvy pinup girl with, and I had penciled and inked her a while back, and then finally decided to color her now that I have these like super bright, vibrant colors. On the screen doesn't do it justice, honestly, in terms of the brightness. Batman Superman, this is supposed to be live wire. One of my friends was saying she saw Killer Frost, which I can definitely pick up on with this cover, but you can see that she's got the lightning bolt electricity earrings. But then the guy who who wants the R5D4 cover. He said he definitely sees Livewire in this. So that's good because that was the original intention. But Livewire, Killer Frost, whichever is your preference, that, there you go. I also am I loved keeping like the cool blue, lightly purplish color palette. I didn't want to deviate from that too much. 1 week ago, actually, I finished up this Batgirl Bat on a Wire cover. Originally, there was no boob window, as it were. It was a solid top. But I just thought it would be, kind of fun to do it this way. And she's super thick and curvy, and it's just kind of the way I draw females. Yeah. So, that went on sale this last weekend as well. This one I actually just finished yesterday. That went onto the sale. Being that I like pinups and stuff like that, I'm not really into sports, but I figured since sports aren't around and I wanted to do a pinup-y type thing, why not baseball? That's like, the American pastime and everything. This is Harley Quinn. I left the nameplate blank just because I figured I could either customize it for somebody if they wanted or just add Quinn to it. But then what I did, instead of a number, it was originally going to be a 0. I gave her the big Q on it as well. And then whenever possible, I always throw the concept art into it as well. So if somebody buys it, then they can, get multiple facets to it. This is one I finished last week, and I don't think I showed it. This is the first Batman Who Laughs that I did. The Batwoman Who Laughs. I was envisioning, it's Harley Quinn, but then I thought, why not, if it's Barbara Gordon or if it's Kate Kane, and they've been Harlequinized. And I wanted to use some more subdued reds and stuff like that. And so I went with darker, less vibrant reds for this piece. But I'm pretty happy with the way that it came out. I love this was the first one that I did where I just did all the blacked in background and then went back and started filling those in. Actually, no, that's not true. The DK3 Carrie Kelly was the first one that I filled in that way. So, and then this one I finished on Friday. Pinup Poison Ivy. I've been wanting to do a Poison Ivy piece for a while now. One of the cool things that I did with her bandana is those are leaves that are tied off, the parts that are coming off, and the lace on the elastic portion of her stockings was just going to be kind of just a solid thing, but then I decided to add in a little bit of detail with the leaves and the vines. And I did her entire body in flesh tone and then went over in a lighter green on the chemise so that you get the idea that it is a sheer top. And then you also get the contours of her body that you can still see through it as well. I also did another piece this week that I can't show you because it's on my computer. My mom and stepdad's 20th anniversary is this month, and because of everything that's going on, family's not going to be able to celebrate it with them. So we got them a gift card to their favorite restaurant so they can get some takeout. And then me being the artist in the family, I cranked out a picture of my sister and her husband, my stepsister and her husband, and myself all wearing masks. And it says happy 20th quarantine anniversary. And then I'm also working on another commission right now, a Batman commission for one of my high school friends who, her son Mason is, really wants to have like a likeness of himself as Batman. So I'm pretty excited about that somebody would trust me with that. So that's pretty neat. So these are some art pieces that I got. I don't know where the other ones are at the second. I know oh, here they are. Cool. Some of these I got as a present for somebody. They don't watch this channel, so it's okay. So this is the first piece that I bought from my friend April Grady Reyna. This is an Inktober piece she did. I believe it was from last year of IDW's or BW Big Dog Inc.'s characters from The Wizard of Oz. This was the Scarecrow. just love this piece a lot. And April is also on Facebook, and she's seriously liquidating her artwork. But her line work, you can see that again. This doesn't do it justice. She's got these insanely fine lines, and they're just like the expression in the face is just phenomenal. And then she threw in some bonuses, which I thought was really awesome of her. She totally didn't have to, and that's the Wicked Witch and then the Cowardly Lion. So I'm super stoked to have gotten these. I'm also. I hope I didn't misplace it because I would scream if I did. No, here it is. Okay. So the second one that I ordered them like one day apart, and she'd already mailed the first one. I got this for a really good friend of mine who loves Dawn. April also did this Dawn piece, and she has some sketch cards and stuff out of Dawn as well. And in addition to that, that was what I purchased from her. April threw in all these mini custom sketch cards. I guess they're not mini, but this really great Archangel or Angel. I don't like just the background alone is beautiful, but like the detail in his costume and his wings is phenomenal. I think this is Betty Page, just pinup style, which is great because I love that style of artwork so much. Vampirella, which is phenomenal because my friend who loves Dawn also loves Vampirella, so it'll make an extra nice bonus. Savage Girl or Cave Woman or Jane, and then another Vampirella as well. So, been able to pick up some cool things recently. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that I've been very fortunate with my show in terms of, getting some revenue coming in as well. Now for some action figures. This one came in the mail this week from eBay. I already have Deku, and All Might. So, I needed Uraraka. She's probably my favorite character in the entire show. Just because, just like super cute, and she's got such a positive attitude, and she works really, really hard. I love Deku too, but I just think overall, Uraraka's character is even better. She came with an alternate set of hands and then a little helmet. The helmet has the hair attached to it as well, so you pop off the hair on this figure and then on the head, and then fit this on. It looks really weird with the helmet on, so I think I'm just going to keep her like this. The really cool thing, and I thought this was a mistake, the fingertips on both hands have little pink tips, and I didn't know what that was until I started really looking at the details, and that's when she puts her fingers together to like really power up. So I'm like, that's an awesome detail piece that they added. Again, the only downside to these figures is that there's no mid-thigh pivot so that you can twist their leg in and out. It does make it a little awkward for doing certain poses, but definitely not bad. All right, so this is a figure that I've had on hold with my friend Eric of Presidio Comics for a while, and when I went to pick up some stuff and drop off some stuff, I was able to pick it up. This is the original McFarlane Toys Kaneda from the Akira series. I owned this when it originally came out. I didn't appreciate it for what it was, and I got rid of it. This may be the one that I got rid of. I don't know, but I got it back. The pill jacket. I'm gonna have to like do a little bit of gluing on the gun because the strap won't stay on the little nub that's right there. Super happy to have this guy back because Akira's probably my favorite, might be my favorite animated movie of all time. The manga is definitely in my top 5. It's actually number 2 on my top 5 list. This is another figure that I've been wanting for quite a long time, and I finally got it. This is the Toys R Us exclusive Marvel Legends Jubilee figure. And this thing was insanely expensive. It's come down a little bit, but I was able to finagle a package trade with Eric for the Canada, for the Jubilee, for a handful of comic books that I checked off about 5 or 6 of my original Nightwing run. So I'm cutting down on that. Maybe like 50 books left in the run. Maybe, probably not even that much, but. And then this guy, Soundwave. The only downside to this Soundwave is, one, he didn't come with any of the tapes. You know, Ravage, Ramjet, Laserbeak. But he does eject tapes. The actual only downside to this, because I get it for marketing purposes, you know, or profit purposes, you would want to sell the tapes separately. He doesn't turn into a boombox. He turns into a spaceship. That's the only downside. Like, I mean, that doesn't make any sense to me. But, you know, whatever. I like that figure. And then this might be, some might refer to him as the King, the Grimlock, you know, built from the same specs as the original. Haven't decided if I'm going to take this guy out of the package yet. But super, super stoked to have him. I got to clean off the glass a little bit. Splattered something on it. I don't know what it is. I had some breakfast on the table here beforehand. So, but these two pieces take the cake. As some of you who've been following my channel know, I do a book called The Bubba Patrol. It's about my dogs as superheroes. They're there for me every single day of my life, and they are my little superheroes. I feel like dogs are, just animals in general, really help the world, help me with a lot of things, and I felt it was time to pay tribute to them specifically. And especially once I wanted to do this, but once I found out Foley had cancer, I had to get these done. So with help from my sister, her her mother-in-law offered, after I asked, she accepted to make costumes for the Bubbas. And so we got the measurements, I ordered the fabric, got them sent out to her. And in doing so, actually came up with a new design. So we're gonna show Graysons Costume first. This is the Dogwing cover, and his name is Grayson, so obviously he's named after Dick Grayson. But this is the Dogwing logo. So there's the Bluebird logo for Nightwing. This is the Golden Dog logo. And Marilyn captured it so amazingly. Like, I am so floored by the quality, the attention to detail, and the love that went into these pieces. Including, she always includes these like custom little tags. It says, "Grandma loves me." I've been referring to her as Grandma Marilyn, and she did a great job on this. It's got a little Velcro clasp that has an adjustment of about 1 inch. Grayson he let me put it on. He was super excited. He ran around the room with it, and he did the thing where he shakes and it like spun around, and so he's getting used to it. However, his big brother Foley, when we were opening the package, seemed to know what it was and understood. And I almost was brought to tears putting this on him, because it's exactly like the scene that I'm doing in issue 3 of the comic book, where he's getting the costume put on him for the first time. And that is his Mr. Whoopi cape. This is, as much as I love the Dogwing cape, this is the cape that had to be made. This is what was needed. And his cape is different. It doesn't fasten with Velcro. His cape does a tie around the neck. So Marilyn made it specifically so it would tie around his neck based on all the sizings that we did and a number of different design concepts that I sent to her. Now, in addition to this, the cape, part of the design is And this is something I did back in 2012 when I first designed the costume. Foley has a safety pin that you tie the knot and then you secure it with the safety pin. And I was able to find these on Etsy. Fabric is also purchased on Etsy. And it's just phenomenal to have this gigantic safety pin. It's super heavy and it's so big I won't use it to actually puncture through the knot. I'm gonna figure out a way to tie the knot around it or loop it through or whatnot. But this was the single greatest mail call I think I've ever had in my entire life. And I'll be posting a video of them with their capes on. I got Foley video. I need to get video with Grayson too. So we're at 31 minutes. Thank you if you've stuck through the entire video. If you're a new subscriber, please hit like, please share if you can. Stay tuned for more NonCon. We're all in this together as a comic book community and a fandom community, and it matters. I mean, if these videos can help people feel not so isolated and kind of normalize things and make it like you're not necessarily missing conventions and stuff, and missing your friends, then taking time out to do these, it's totally worth it. So hope you guys have a productive and positive week. Please stay safe, wear your masks. Remember, it's not for you, it's for the people you love. And remember to stay anti-hero strong. See you next time.